Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate or check us out online at CoppelCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
The Nebraska Ambulatory Surgical Center is Lincoln's newest outpatient surgery center, started by Dr. Daniel Tomez and Dr. Benjamin Bixenman. The highly skilled staff strives to make your outpatient surgery experience unlike any other with a new, clean facility and state-of-the-art equipment. They specialize in minimally invasive spine procedures, carpal tunnel release, pain management, including steroid injections, and much more. Schedule your appointment with the region's top neurosurgeons at 402-904-4729 at the Nebraska Ambulatory Surgical Center in Lincoln on South 27th Street.
Hello?
Jan, it's Kay. Are you and Rich free for dinner tonight? I'm making pizza.
Sounds great. What time?
6 p.m.?
Sorry, can't do it. Wheel of Fortune is on and Rich won't miss it.
You're kidding.
Nope. He's seen every episode since 1975. He won't budge.
Listen, tell him if he comes, we'll buy him a bunch of Wheel of Fortune scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery.
Won't work. He has to see the show.
That's just it. Until July 30th, if Rich enters any non-winning $5 Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket online, he could win the ultimate fan trip to Los Angeles, including airfare and accommodations. He'll also win tickets to a live taping of Wheel of Fortune and get to spin the big wheel to win at least $2,000.
That might work. Could you do just one other thing?
Sure. What?
Could you write free spin and pepperoni on every other slice of pizza?
Why don't you just come at 7?
Wheel of Fortune top prize odds, 1 in 112,000.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
That's right. Welcome into On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Big thanks to all our sponsors here on the show. We'll list them here off the top. Starter Heyman Jewelers for sponsoring our live video streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as our text line that's open for you all show at 402-464-5685. Big thanks to Allo Fiber for sponsoring Channel 961. If you're an Allo subscriber all across the great state of Nebraska, flip on Channel 961 to not just listen to, but watch the show. That's right. We're not just radio stars. We are TV stars as well, which is why my guy, Erick Strickland, got all gussied up today.
Yeah, man.
Great, Stricky.
Yeah,
how you
just
doing?
Chill, man. Just chill. It is, gosh dang, man. May's already here, Austin. Isn't that crazy? Like when you just really look up and think about it, right? It just seemed like the New Year's was just right here. It just happened. All of a sudden, months fly by. Does anybody feel the same way that I do, that just over your last 10 years, it just seemed to have flown by? Like, I look up and I'm like, dang, bro, like I've halfway made it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I consider, one, just how I came up, where I came through, what things could have shifted at different times that could have changed maybe the trajectory. I think I told that story once where things could have changed had a situation, and being young, I got caught in a situation where could have affected possibly my eligibility for sports. Like if that goes a whole nother way, I mean, there was some great lessons learned in that. There's some other lessons over life. And then I look up and I'm like, man, like my kids are like graduating college and I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like just how fast time flies.
Yeah.
I thought my NBA career, you look up and it's like, golly, I mean, I'm towards the tail end of this thing. And it's just crazy to me. Time flies. It really does.
Which, speaking about that, with the passage of time, new information came to light, so you can drop being mad at Mark Cuban for giving Keith Van Horn the contract, not you, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there was a lesson learned out of that. I mean, this is why I think he's just one of the most innovative and creative people in the game, because to find that loophole, to be able to, I mean, it literally was, and it ultimately ended up being the piece that helped give you what the first of any of its kind in Dallas as a basketball organization. And you use the method to help you like that. Like, I think even more, I might have been upset because here I was sitting in the office and Keith wasn't even there. I think he was back in Utah. I'm like, man, you could have called me up. Now that I think about it, I'm like, dang, at that time, was my paperwork even in? I'm like
because
halfway
that's the
mad.
loophole.
That was the loophole.
The retirement papers hadn't been filed, right?
Yeah. I think I don't remember. I think I might have. I think my agent maybe did it because I told him I wasn't going to be, pursuing anymore. So I can't remember how it happened. But yeah, there was a great learning lesson out of that even. And I'm not as mad at Mark as I was.
John in Cortland would tell you there's no time to be mad. He said he just had a birthday. Belated happy birthday, John. He says, time rolls out faster every year. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
I believe it.
Seeing time through even just like my son, right? He's the same kid, but he's not the same kid 7 months today. It's just wild.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to hit on here in this first segment while we have a few minutes, did you get a chance to watch the Tom Brady roast? Yes or no on the text line. Let us know if you watched it.
I saw it on Netflix, but there was something else that I was watching, and I just have not done it yet.
Do you want some of the jokes spoiled? Do you want to hold off and watch it?
I don't mind the spoil.
Okay. Randy Moss. Before I got to the New England Patriots, we heard about Spygate. Then after I left, we heard about Deflategate. So I only got one question for you, Tom. Why the heck didn't we cheat when I was there? I wanted to cheat too. My kids always ask me, Daddy, why does everyone have a ring but you? You know how hard it is to look your kids in the eye and say they just don't trust me enough to cheat?
That's hilarious. Okay.
Drew Bledsoe. A lot of people assume I have a lot of animosity toward Tom Brady. So I'm here tonight in front of millions of people to tell you they're correct. And then, maybe the piece de resistance from Bill Belichick. People have said it. Tom and I butted heads a lot. And in a way, that was true. But it was hard to butt heads with Tom because he was so far up Alex Guerrero's you-know-what.
Ooh. Check said that?
Belichick, yeah.
Wow.
Got him.
That's crazy.
So, Stricky, who gets roasted next? Who's the next megastar to put themselves out there and get roasted? Or is Tom Brady one of a kind?
I mean, obviously, he's one of a kind. I think within the next couple of years, you'll probably see LeBron. I think that would be the next one.
You'll participate?
The bum.
You'll be first.
I'll be the first to get on the bum.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think maybe, next top superstar that's happened. I think if it was to be in the acting space, who do you think would be next? If it was to be in,
I want to see a Saban roast.
Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like Nick could take it, and he's got a lot of big personalities that have played with him and worked with him.
Yeah.
I would love to see a roast of Nick Saban.
I think that would be dope. I really do, Austin. I think that would be pretty cool to see that.
I don't know the acting side. You have to give me your ideas for that one.
Has it already happened to like a Tom Cruise? Or
well, that's just an hour of short jokes.
A Liam Neeson, maybe a Jason Statham.
Ooh, Liam Neeson, I think would be a good one. That's fun.
Yeah, because he's kind of a mysterious dude.
Very.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't really know much about him, like outside of the work that he does. I think he does tremendous work. Probably maybe I would say maybe The Rock.
Oh yeah, that's a slam dunk.
That would be that would probably be one.
Yeah,
if you're in the acting space,
because like Liam Neeson's big, but he's not The Rock big.
I would like to see maybe one for if I was to go on, the other side of things. I would say maybe like Samuel L. Jackson.
Ooh.
Just because of the range of movies he's played and
Okay.
the people that he's worked with over the years from where he started. Like if somebody could really go back, I think him. I think that would be pretty fun to watch. And on the women's side, let me see. On the women's side, I don't know. Let me think. Maybe
Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah, but she's kind of been out of the mix for a little bit.
Yeah.
Other than,
Do we need a Taylor Swift roast?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's too personal?
You might need to get that with the new Kelsey. Yeah, I think you might need to get her.
I know she's not an actress, but
yeah, but get her.
Text line, that's the question. Who is the next mega celebrity to get roasted? Let us know, 402-464-5685. When we get back, we'll talk some NIL. The SEC and the Big Ten think they've come up with a plan. Do you like the plan for how to share revenue with student athletes? We'll get into that and your thoughts for the mega celebrities to be roasted as we continue on the block.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
It's the Elway Power Sports Customer Expo, May 10th and 11th. There will be giveaways and free food, half-price tires, and factory rebates as large as $2,500. Used inventory price to sell, parts and accessory specials too. Register for the John Elway football giveaway and get a chance in the money machine with a new vehicle purchase. Factory and aftermarket reps will be on site for the event. The Customer Expo at Elway Power Sports, May 10th and 11th, just south of I-80 on 27th Street.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddles Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddles makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddles Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
It's, hey, he looked as advertised. He looked really good in the spring game. And because of that, we're going back to a bowl game this year, is what Husker fans are telling them. So I think the fans have a more realistic perspective, and I think this coaching staff has done a really good job of handling Dylan Raiola and the expectations around him.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The question before us here during On the Block is, who is the next mega celebrity to have a roast? I think we settled on The Rock, Taylor Swift, Nick Saban as options we would like to see. On YouTube, though, Justin, appreciate you listening and chiming in from the YouTube stream. Justin said Aaron Rodgers would be a gold mine. How about that one, Stricky?
Yeah.
You about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got, yeah. Yeah, there's stuff that he's just in his most recent of times have done, I think would be pretty open for roasting.
9076 says the Kardashians.
The whole family.
Whole family.
Get them.
All on stage at once. Cigar Guy agrees with you, LeBron. Here's one you would have maybe not some experience with, but you would know the man. Worm. How about a roast of Dennis Rodman? How would that go?
I like Worm. I got a couple good Worm stories. Yeah, Worm's cool. I like Worm. I like that one.
Would you roast him, or would you just be in the audience laughing?
I wouldn't want to roast Worm. There's no telling. There's no telling where that could end up going.
That's why I'm a little worried about that one.
Yeah, Worm would be kind of wild, but I would like it though. I would enjoy it. Definitely.
9076 also says Magic.
Ooh. Yeah, I could see it.
What if we have a dual roast with Magic and Larry Bird on stage at the same time?
Thought that'd be cool. Yeah, about just their history, their rival, going back to college. Yeah, I think you can get a lot of content out of that. Yeah, that would be one.
Isaiah and Michael.
I think
dual roast.
Because of just the bitterness of some of the rumor mill on that.
Yeah.
I think Belichick.
Okay.
You know,
he handled it pretty well, all things considered, yesterday, being the roaster, not the roastee. Andy Reid roast.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that. I would even like to see a Mike Tomlin.
Oh.
Just because of how he came in young, kind of operated under the radar. You know him, but you know.
But
like
you don't.
I'd like to hear from the coach's perspective. Yeah, there's a few out there.
Mike Tyson?
I wouldn't roast Mike Tyson.
You know better than that.
It'd be a risk of Mike standing up and saying, "I'll take your judgment. I'll eat your heart. I'm impeccable. My style is." Yeah, no. I don't think I want. I'd want to be up there at risk. You thought if you thought the Will Smith and
Chris
Rock situation. Yeah, I wouldn't be standing there if Mike walked. No, I don't think I'd want that smoke.
I'm with you. A roast of Kevin Hart.
That can always be fun.
I feel like that's just the internet most days.
That could always be fun.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, maybe I'm just really behind on this. What is going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Like, are they just beefing just to beef, or is there like actually something going on?
So here's the thing. Some people may think I put on my tinfoil hat and I just start rambling and just different theories.
I can confirm, and you can as well if you're on the stream. Tricky does not have the tinfoil hat on. He's got the red 93.7 ticket hat on. Looks nice. You're rocking it.
All right. So here's the deal. I believe that the state of hip hop has, even R&B, has gone to just lows of same content, talking about the same old thing, nothing. Cash, drugs,
women,
and drinking. I mean, and everybody's telling the same story. And so it wasn't like it was. And I'm going to use this piece for understanding of why the NBA is at the place it is now too.
Take me there, Stricky.
See,
I'm
not just an average Joe Blow. I actually pretty much have a thinking mind, but here's what I'm saying. Because of that, the watered downness of it, there's no depth, there's no concept, there's no plot, there's no story. It's just a bunch of talking about, and half of it you don't understand. Okay. So here's where the tinfoil hat would come in. Kendrick is lyrically supposed to be a pinnacle type of guy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Drake artistically is probably a top tier guy as well. So what you have is two individuals in a form or fashion. There's like three total. This is why it's shady across the board in all facets of media, because it's a Universal Group. It's I want to say Universal, Sony, and there's one more. There's three total pinnacle, and I believe that they have touches into
Atlantic,
there it is. They have touches into each genre, but certain one of those specialize in a specific genre that they rule. Right? Universal heads a lot of the hip hop stuff. I think Atlantic, you'll probably get into a lot of the pop and maybe overseas and K-pop, all this type of stuff. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm saying I believe the majority of them house a certain genre. Those two are basically label brothers. So here's where I'm going. You're label brothers, and because the industry is dying, like back in the day, you had East West, you had Tupac, Biggie. You had different battles like LL Cool J and Cameron or LL Cool J and Cannabis, and they would go at each other. You had Jay-Z and Nas, like they would lyrically to say you ain't on par with me. Basically, is how they would go. That's died, and so now it's created this just void of just garbage out there. They're trying to bring it back, revive it, put a spark to it that has been lost. Being brothers, because you have to ask the question, how is it that every day almost or every 48 hours a new one's coming out? Like a new beef is coming out?
Yeah.
Like that.
Or it's the same beef with a new song every other day.
Right. Saying, how do you have all this content? That means they've been allegedly preparing for this specific time. Now, how does that work in sports? It goes back to the same things I talked about. How the sport has got drawn out. Everybody's buddy, everybody's friend. There's really no rival. Yeah, you try to build them up, but there really isn't any. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of fake beef, a lot of fake stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying about the watered down. What the NBA has to do to revive itself is going to have to be you want to prop up leader of the old school against the new school revolution. If that's what you want to do, put Ant-Man in there, put Brunson in there, just Chet Holmgren, Shea, put a bunch of these younger cats into that group and, create some beef, some way to create some beef. Because when, there was an interest when Ant-Man looked at Kevin Durant, was like, yeah, you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Basically. So that's what I think has happened, man, unfortunately. And it's happening in the rap space. I think it needs to happen in the sports space too.
So what you're saying is selling records or, getting streams and scoring points is too easy. The superstars get bored. Change the rules, change the challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of industries, if you're the top dog, you're the head dog, right? That in business, they talk about what you want to do is be first to market.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is good because you can get a larger market share quicker than whoever's next in line. But I venture to say you could be that third guy and still win, i.e. Uber, Lyft, and others that have come on, right?
Who's the third guy in the Drake Kendrick stuff? TBD?
Probably J. Cole.
I feel like he bowed out pretty early though.
Yeah, he did.
Can he come back?
It can't be Future.
No.
Right now, it's
Travis Scott's out of the picture.
No, like there's a group of them. Like they're throwing all these guys in there, and if you look at them, they're all under the same group. They throw in Weekend, you throw in Metro Boomin, and Future. You throw in Rick Ross. They're all under Universal, and that's why. It's like, to me, it's a fabricated beef to just revive the industry.
Interesting.
I'm just
so
saying.
we need a trade.
Hat.
We need an Atlantic Universal trade. Set up real album beef.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the problem with monopolizing a specific industry, right? Like I can tell you, living here, it's a little bit, and this is just a little example. Living here in Nebraska, for example, if you need energy, you have to go through who? In Omaha, you got to go through OPPD.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They got a monopoly on the energy grid, and it is what it is. Down in Texas, they have it's called something. Deregulation. So they have deregulation, so you can literally get your power and energy from whoever. You can get it from Green Energy, you can get it from TXU, you can get it from Reliance, you can whatever it is. You can come together with neighborhoods and put together a conglomerate, shrink your butt because it's more wattage being used, so you can shrink the price. There's ways that at least you can negotiate it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Once my term is up, I can go somewhere else. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Here you stuck. Like if like the storm comes through and next thing you know, prices start going up just because it's put a strain. There's nothing you can do. There's no competition in the mix. That's the same thing with sports. That's the same thing with this rap. There's no competition because we're all just doing the same thing, saying the same thing. And when you have media conglomerates that own, this is why even in politics, right? I love this. I love sometimes we can delve off into this stuff because it's stuff that I think about really, constantly. Like if, for example, politics, right? Media, there's certain groups that own the media conglomerates that disseminate the messaging, right? This is why you can put compilations together where literally they're saying the same thing.
Right.
Today, the marketplace is falling because today 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 the marketplace is falling because they've got, I mean, you could do a compilation of like all across the country, different organizations. They're saying the same thing because they're owned by the same. This is why people are turning against media. But this is why here on the block, this is why we're objective. We take into account information. We disseminate it. WTF? We talk facts. We come in and we just lay it rough and raw, and it is what it is. But that's what I can appreciate about what we do is we're not trying to persuade you or dissuade you. We're just trying to give you information and tell you how we think about it and feel about it. But people are getting a little frustrated by the processes of that because they feel that media today is making you feel as if you're stupid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
some patronizing, some gaslighting.
I see a tree outside, but the tree is invisible to me. That's a predator tree. It's there, but it just disappears. But yeah, I mean, it's like they'll give you stuff like as if you're dumb. Like, it isn't what I see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That is finely manicured garden right there, with is a bunch of weeds. You know what I'm saying?
It looks aight. Even if it is weeds, it looks aight. It's
but they'll tell, but sometimes media tell you that, man, that is the seventh wonder of the world. That finely tuned weed patch right there. You got to see it. You got to get to 10th. You got to get to 11th and 0 and see that, because it's the seventh wonder of the world. That's how crazy stuff can be today.
It's not crazy to want to come to 11th and 0, though. No. I mean, if you're just coming for that weed patch, that's crazy. But we're here. Stop by, say hi. The mill is here on the other side of the building.
Going to get
Stop in, say hi. That's where Stricky's going, right? Meet him at the counter. Say hi. If you do get something from the mill, show us in the window. We can feature you, right? That's part of the joy of this. So definitely swing down here all week.
Man,
not just Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday. We're here.
Sit outside if the weather's lovely. Sit inside if it's not. It's options. But man, we've got to touch this. At least let's throw it out here, because I think it needs to be touched. I think this is a tremendous subject. Austin and I, listen, we have this plan, but man, the beauty of what we do, man, sometimes topics pop off and they can jump off and go a little bit longer. But this topic is tremendous because it speaks to a potential landmark change within college athletics. And it's deep, it's exciting. It's stuff Austin and I envisioned, but we didn't know it would possibly go to this level. And we want to talk about it. So maybe we'll take a break. We'll come back, spark the conversation, hopefully get some tie-ins with you guys, how you feel about it. But it's how the SEC and the Big Ten are possibly developing a plan in order to share revenue with players. I think it could be a tremendous landmark change to college sports, and Austin and I want to dabble into it. We'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. 937 The Ticket on the block.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Thunderstorms are expected to move through the region this evening into the early nighttime hours. Severe thunderstorms will be a possibility. We'll drop down to a low of around 50. Heading into tomorrow, clearing skies, warm and breezy, west winds at 15 to 25, a high of 73. Another chance of showers tomorrow night with a low of 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
RC's Boxing Production is proud to present the new prospects at the Complex. Come enjoy a show of Lincoln's best professional and amateur boxers on Saturday, May 25th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. You won't want to miss this event. It's the new prospects at the Complex on Saturday, May 25th at 1555 Yolanda Avenue, right off of Cornhusker Highway.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
It's the Elway Power Sports Customer Expo, May 10th and 11th. There will be giveaways and free food, half-price tires, and factory rebates as large as $2,500. Used inventory price to sell, parts and accessory specials too. Register for the John Elway football giveaway and get a chance in the money machine with a new vehicle purchase. Factory and aftermarket reps will be on site for the event. The Customer Expo at Elway Power Sports, May 10th and 11th, just south of I-80 on 27th Street.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Koppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through May 12th, enjoy great Mother's Day specials. 6-ounce USDA Choice Bacon-Wrapped Beef Tenderloin for $9.99. 20 to 24-count King Crab Legs for $19.99 per pound. USDA Choice Tomahawk Ribeye for $9.99 per pound. And all-natural St. Louis-style ribs for $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You guys talk about songs that you love. Is there a song that you absolutely loathe in this world?
Oh, there is, and I can't think of them right now.
I'm just picking Ozzy Osbourne song. I despise with all my being Benny and the Jets by Elton John. I hate that song. Jersey Mike's or Chick-fil-A.
Chick is good. Jersey Mike's, I'm going to say it'd be 90.
Come on.
Bill. Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. We'll do a quick little half segment with this discussion, and then we'll ask you guys some thoughts as well and get back to it. And then we'll start the 3 o'clock hour, but with this topic too. But we're going to touch this topic. We're going to start this topic, but I really want to get into it and allow Austin to go buck wild on this topic here, because we've talked about this stuff. We envisioned that possibly college football was going in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the NCAA and its weakness. What I would call the Chihuahua bark with no bite, to it. And now we're at a place where it seems that progressively they're starting to move in different steps, and using some of these steps possibly to eliminate some of the problems that persist within it,
by doing certain things like this. But there's a couple questions that are going to come out of this. When you look at what they're looking at doing potentially is that's bringing players into a share of the overall. So you're talking about billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
A portion of that. This is where you're getting into professional sports.
Yeah.
Because I get a check every year for marketing and you know, it's a different type of NIL, but it's name, image, and likeness type stuff that happens through the NBA and, you know, different games or, you know, different things that are put out there and you're in it to, you know, merchandising or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You share in those collective bargains and we get a check every year. So that could be pretty lucrative for a young man coming out of high school, college, going to college, transferring. It looks as if they're setting themselves up to be the landing spot, the destination, and the stay. It's a way to keep the high grade of potential within the SEC and the Big Ten, so that it keeps its high level of stake in the revenue sharing with TV deals.
Yeah, that's where I think the most important thing as it relates to Nebraska is that it's the SEC and the Big Ten at the forefront of this, being the leaders, getting out in front of it. But it is also a college athletics issue as well, because I think of Overtime Elite doing okay, not that great, in the G League Ignite shutting down, right? That team is done.
Yeah, defunct.
So if this is where I think college proves it has some staying power, where I like the idea of a G League Ignite, but I think it also makes more sense for the NBA to pour into colleges than have its own, you know, one developmental team that's going to get its butt kicked all the time. And you have to try really hard and probably overpay some of these prospects to come play for you.
That's a fact.
Whereas if you can help the NCAA set up a system that works to where you can still keep an eye on these guys, you can still scout them, but you can also kind of help with their development in some ways, or you have a more consistent developmental pathway for them that's tried and true. I think that makes a lot of sense, because college athletics probably aren't going anywhere. But at the same time, Strike, that's what I think the lead story of the second hour here of Old School is that if the House lawsuit doesn't go away, that's potentially $4.2 billion the NCAA and schools will have to pay in back pay to student athletes.
Dang, do I get in on that?
And maybe it said apparently 7,000 student athletes are eligible for back pay. I don't know how they got to that number, but if that's $4.2 billion down the drain, either the NCAA is going to have to do some massive fundraising from these schools, or college athletics as we know it will undergo such a shift that the pro leagues will then be hurt for a few years until they get a system figured out. And you know the pro leagues love their developmental pipelines. The MLB loves that high schools and colleges, I mean, yes, I know they have 3, you know, farm system teams as well, but they pull from those ranks. The NBA, right? Yeah, it has the G League, but that primary development is done in college. And obviously college football, with no true minor league football system, especially as it relates to college football. I think the NFL has the biggest stake in keeping college athletics afloat, because there is no other spot for those thousands of athletes across the country.
Yeah, you know, because the UFL hasn't risen to that spot. They tried NFL Europe, that, you know, it was okay, but it didn't really generate probably the buzz that they were looking for.
No.
Sources out of an article here on CBS, sources have told CBS Sports that revenue sharing idea emerged from ongoing talks between the Power Four administrators in February, that the SEC and the Big Ten announced a joint advisory group to address the future of college athletics. So it's a hope that the schools, as you said, can have something put together that has purpose, because we talked about what we talk about is this being the Wild Wild West. We really always talk, and it has been. Now it seems as they're trying to figure out, and you have to probably do it this way. You have to probably do it by way of legislation, because otherwise it'll continue to be just whatever body, however they feel about it, whatever they move or collectively get together, which it can hinder or hurt both parties, probably don't benefit. So maybe this is a way to try to get some balance within the system.
I think so. Let's go to break here because I think that's a good jumping off point, because that article and a different one say that for college athletics to thread the needle that it's trying to do, it needs Congress to pass a new law.
Yeah.
Is Congress willing to do that? Should Congress do that? Is college athletics big enough, important enough to make an exception for college athletics? I think there's a lot in there that we can dive into in hour 2 here of On the Block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the Elway Power Sports Customer Expo, May 10th and 11th. There will be giveaways and free food, half-price tires, and factory rebates as large as $2,500. Used inventory price to sell, parts and accessory specials too. Register for the John Elway football giveaway and get a chance in the money machine with a new vehicle purchase. Factory and aftermarket reps will be on site for the event. The Customer Expo at Elway Power Sports, May 10th and 11th, just south of I-80 on 27th Street.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Doane University, we build leaders. and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
I'm Dave Osted. And I'm Ryan Osted. Every golfer will get value from being custom fit. The truth is, the higher handicappers will get more value from being custom fit than the low handicappers.
It's changed so much since my dad started the business in 1963. We now have hundreds of thousands of dollars in technology, and we know exactly what the spin rate is, what the launch angle is. We encourage you to bring your current clubs in now, and we can compare it. And guys walk out of the store knowing that the purchase they just made is going to give them 21 more yards off the tee box. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome back to On the Block. He's Strick here, Austin Orman. It is the second hour, and we had started talking about a subject in which there's some proposals being put out regarding the SEC and the Big Ten and developing a plan in order to share. And here's the thing. To me, Austin, they're innovative in their thinking, as they have been with the TV deals that they signed. Kind of understanding the ebbs and flow of things, how it's working, find themselves in a great position relatively at the same time, whereas the ACC is like on stuck, like with no real exit plan, without shedding a lot of your programs and losing a lot of money, so forth and so on. But what they've done is get ahead of the situation, the Wild Wild West of the NIL, that they've pretty much been in right now at this point. And like you said, Austin, they have a situation to where they're dealing with a house lawsuit right now that claims that athletes is an expanded version, not just those who have just come into the space, but it also incorporates those who have, been in the past. EA Sports at one point had a game called NCAA, I think, football. And if I remember correctly, there was something that came out called March Madness in basketball. I can't remember the name, but they've been the beneficiary of, lucrative, putting those teams.
Had a college baseball game
university,
too.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of games that were put out there where, they took into account your likeness and used it. And so I can understand where they're going with that. And they're talking about being on the hook for $4.2 billion, as you had stated a little bit earlier. But also, when you take that into account as well, those numbers are just astronomical. And they're trying to get ahead of it. They're trying to slowly piece and parse it out without having to hopefully be, a big chunk dumped on them at one point. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, they're trying to pay their credit card bill a month at a time instead of having to file for bankruptcy.
There you go.
Is kind of how I would look at it. And the part that I'm curious about is just how much they end up having to pay back, because according to this article that we're reading here, because of how everything's set up legally, because there's, damages, apparently the amount that's being ordered to be paid back could be tripled somehow up to
with
4.2. Yeah, up to $4.2 billion,
gosh.
which is insane. Potentially $15 to $20 million per school to its student athletes. But the number that really stands out to me is 7,000. Where do these 7,000 come from? And this is
what
from
is the start of when it's
right
back? Yeah.
Right, because like you were on TV, you didn't get paid for that, but you weren't in a college basketball video game, right? So does it just go back to, hey, here's when the first college football video game was released? Is it just those players that get the money for being on TV and in the video games? Why is it only them?
And how do you account for
jerseys
and stuff that was sold back then?
Right.
Then there's a price
Inflation.
difference. There you go.
Yeah. There's a lot to figure out here. And I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect solution, but whatever a solution ends up being, I'm glad the SEC and the Big Ten are taking the lead on this. By far, the two richest conferences. So here's the thing. These two conferences, like any school, their schools make their budgets. But it's a lot easier to budget for $15 to $20 million when you're bringing in 50 than when you're bringing in 30 or when you're barely bringing in 10 mil per year. Some of these schools, Strick, will have to budget out 5, 6, 7 years worth specifically to cover these back pay. Now, these schools are probably also the smaller schools that might not have as many athletes or on TV as much.
Yeah.
But if every student athlete that was in a video game gets it, guess what? Those schools are still in the video game. So they'll have to pay. It would be a bump in the road for Big Ten and SEC schools. But really, Strick, the biggest part to me about how this could change college athletics is that it might bankrupt some of these smaller schools' athletic departments. And that would be the massive change.
Well, you're on to something there, because right now you have schools, even in the Big Ten right now, that are struggling with this whole situation that's going on between the Palestine and the different protests that are going on and locking down schools. Kids can't go and take their finals, and it's just on some campuses is crazy. So is that going to produce lawsuits? So you're not just talking about athletic programs. Athletic programs take up definitely a good portion of a lot of people's budgets on campus.
Academic fraud is always in the news.
So you got just so much that's going on right now, man, that is the money there? Because I think let's be honest about it, a lot of programs aren't running in the black.
No.
I mean, because you're talking about year by year. I mean, it's kind of foundational in a sense, to where pretty much a good portion, if not the majority of most budgets, are allocated for. So each year you've got to come in and figure it out. And then you get the gravy when you like happen to go to a Final Four or win a championship, or, those are great. Go to a big bowl and, those are like just gravy train, but that doesn't happen for everybody.
Not every conference either, right? Because some of those payouts go just to schools. Some of those payouts go to conferences that are then distributed. So you never know how much exactly you're going to have to depend on, right? You can look back at last year, but it's a lot different, Strick, for true businesses versus colleges, because so much of it is dependent on, hey, what's the TV contract this year? Is it increasing year over year? And then do we even have a team make it into the college football playoff? In the Big Ten's case, it'll probably be 3 teams in the 12-team playoff. But then it's probably up to the conference to decide, or maybe it's already been decided. Is it just those 3 teams that see the bonus? Is it everyone that sees, a little bit of that? Because if I'm the 3 schools that make it, it's, hey, give me my gravy, right? I like my potatoes. I like my steak the way it is, but we put in the work. We spent more than everyone else. Let's see some of this back. But I can see where conferences would say, hey, we're all in this together. You're propped up as our flagship. We'll give you maybe a little bit more. We'll take a little bit from the bottom finishers, but it's going to be a pretty even distribution. I can understand both sides of that. But again, where it comes to hurt is the American Conference is not getting a team into the Final Four once outside of every 20 years, right? The Big Ten should have a team there pretty much every year or every other. SEC will. ACC will see. Big 12 is at least going to be in the picture. But what happens to the American? What happens to the Sun Belt, schools like that, who were featured in these games, who don't have the big TV contracts? They don't even get the gravy, right? They're standing in line for government cheese.
Right.
If they're lucky.
Right. So in essence, what's sitting here before us, guys, listeners, my partner as well, is there's really only a couple of options that are really viable when you really look in and take into account which direction they're going to take is still yet to be seen. But I think it's still being worked through. I think there's think tanks, as they said, there's an advisory board that has been put together to kind of talk these things through and see if they can come up with a solution. But those two viable options that exist is definitely is one of them is congressional assistance. That's one. Then, or something that a lot of people, I think Virginia is kind of getting on the cutting edge of this, is a collective bargaining agreement, some governing body. A lot of it's being pushed away from the NCAA. Is it going to be them? Are people a little bit, tired of the NCAA right now, just because of sometimes lackluster and how they handle it, sometimes
Usually
overreach
lackluster.
in some situation. So do you want some outside governing body that an entity that can be created? Because it's going to either be that. It's going to either be a congressional assistance come together and put together some laws. I still think that's tough because it's a body that's operating outside without the knowledge of how these undergoing, who barely can even handle the budget on their own.
Right.
Let alone, just being there's other parts of that. But collective bargaining is kind of, I think, the direction where it's going, that body, that entity kind of overseeing a lot of this, because that's what we had. I mean, but then is that putting you in line for lockouts and just all the other stuff that come in line? So there's a lot of things that get added in.
Well, then who are they bargaining with?
Yeah.
Right? Because right now it's the schools and their players. But if you do join a union or into a CBA of some sort, number one, do you have to unionize? Number two, is it with your school? Is it with your conference? Is it with the NCAA? Is it with some other body that's about to be created? You have to figure out who you're bargaining with, who gets what and against what. I think that's going to be a big piece of this, which is where I think that's
because every budget's not the same.
No,
so
not
like
even
when you're talking about an entity like the NBA or the NFL, that's the body. They know collectively what they're bringing in by way of each team. And they have a metric, so it's seats, it's revenue, it's merchandise, it's the food and beverage and all that. So they know pretty much a good portion. Then there's ad dollars and TV, so they can pretty much gauge. Even though there's some discrepancies as far as who's at the top of the food chain and who's not, in college, that's a wide swath of, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got your Georgias, you got your Alabamas, usually, at the top, LSUs, your USCs, and Notre Dames. Those are going to be the top tier type programs that are dealing in that instance. But then you've got your Tulanes and who are successful, your Tulsas and, your Miami of Ohio's and, they have the Buffaloes, they have successful programs, but they just not going to have that money. So how are you going to distinguish between the two when you really don't even know the full budgets of how they operate? So it's I don't know, it's crazy.
Because you don't want to cut opportunities, right? You don't want to make programs have to fold or reduce their numbers because you want to offer enough opportunities. Whereas, I mean, taking the leap from high school to college is a jump, and then college to pros is even another jump, right? I think there needs to be more of a focus put on making college truly that middle ground, right? For some people who college is the highest level they're going to play at, that's an achievement for them. It has to be celebrated, but also it has to be competitive enough and forward thinking enough to prepare the best of those best to make that jump to the next level, whether it's NBA, NFL, MLB, and any other, sport league that they could be participating in, which is almost where I think it would be simpler to get Congress to come together past, any political differences and get a bill sort of antitrust deal kind of passed like Major League Baseball has right now. But what are the odds of that happening? I don't know. I think the collectively bargaining route gives you more flexibility. I think it can be more adaptable. And we've seen the problems that Major League Baseball's run into, being, having antitrust and some of the problems that Major League Baseball has had. I don't want that for college sports, but overall, Rick, I think just generally, whether it's college sports, whether it's politics, whatever, there are some things that need to be centralized, that run smoother with a big oversight body and committee saying, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. But helping the centralized portion run smoothly is having the branches out there that's localized, that can be flexible, that can be adaptable, depending on, like you said, the different budgets, right? The Ohio State budget is not the same as the Rutgers budget, is not the same as the Miami of Ohio budget. It has to be consistent enough and centralized enough to make sense for everybody, but localized enough and individual enough to where there's a level where everyone can compete in their own way, whatever it is that looks like.
Great point. What do you guys think? Is this something that you think they should be taking on right now? I actually personally think that the SEC and the Big Ten getting ahead of this is the right move. It's the best thing to do at this time, is to at least have an idea of a direction that you may want to go or how you want to handle it, and really start putting these out. So if maybe you have three, 4 options, once the governing bodies or once the lawsuits or whatever start to kind of become more clear, then you can say, oh, this is a good model that fits kind of where that's going. And it's good to have those discussions early on in this process. But I don't know. I don't know how it's ultimately gonna pan out, play out. 7,000, where does that land? That's the part that I'm kind of just waiting by the wayside to see. How far back does that go? You know what I'm saying? Does it go back to the 2010s? Does it go back just before that? Whatever the case may be. It's kind of hard to say.
It's very hard to say, which is why so much of it is so fluid. And we're coming up on the summer, so if you want Congress's help, you kind of got to get something done soon, because they're going to go on recess, on vacation, and they're not going to reconvene till the fall. And guess what? Probably nothing's going to get done in the fall, because guess what? Presidential election year.
Yep.
That's a big deal. The timing of this all plays into effect. So as much as it would be nice to get the framework laid, if Congress is going to do anything, it's not going to be this one. It's going to be the next one. So then you just have to figure out who are these power players that are actually legitimately working on this, who are the ones that are just in it to have their name on it, and who's actually down, muddy boots and everything. Try to keep those people elected. Try to get rid of the ones that are just putting their name on it, because something's got to change. And obviously you can't have an election focused on college sports, right? No. College sports they're exciting to us. They're interesting to us, but it's really just kind of a speck on the landscape nationally, even pro sports are, which is weird to think about, that it's our day job is what we talk about, but it really doesn't move the needle for everyone as much as we might think across the country. So you can't just elect people based off of that, but man, something's got to happen. Something's got to change.
Well said. There it is. Brian Munson, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Brian Munson's going to be on the other side. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk to him. I don't know if we'll get into this, because we always like to hear what Brian's got, especially on the recruiting front, what's going on in Husker sports. But we'll join him on the Allo VIP line when we return on 93.7 The Ticket on the Block. We'll be right back.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through May 12th, enjoy great Mother's Day specials. 6-ounce USDA Choice Bacon-Wrapped Beef Tenderloin for $9.99. 20 to 24-count King Crab Legs for $19.99 per pound. USDA Choice Tomahawk Ribeye for $9.99 per pound. And all-natural St. Louis-style ribs for $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn. RC's boxing production is proud to present the new prospects at the Complex. Come enjoy a show of Lincoln's best professional and amateur boxers on Saturday, May 25th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. You won't want to miss this event. It's the new prospects at the Complex on Saturday, May 25th at 1555 Yolanda Avenue, right off of Cornhusker Highway.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Thunderstorms are expected to move through the region this evening into the early nighttime hours. Severe thunderstorms will be a possibility. We'll drop down to a low of around 50. Heading into tomorrow, clearing skies, warm and breezy, west winds at 15 to 25, a high of 73. Another chance of showers tomorrow night with a low of 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddle's Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddle's makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddle's Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall. Erick Services takes this time to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. They hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the moms in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care. The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Monday, May 6th, versus the Vegas Thrill at the Dollar Loan Center in Las Vegas. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 8 p.m. with first serve at 9. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
There are over 1,000 kids in Cedars care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to GiveToLincolnDay.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Big thanks to Nebco for sponsoring our show. 26 companies across the state of Nebraska. Plenty of them are hiring. Check out nebcolincoln.com if you're interested in starting your new career today. We also thank our friends at Aloe Fiber for giving us channel 961, as well as sponsoring our VIP line, where we go now to Brian Munson, who joins us on that Allo VIP line. Brian, it's been some interesting weather up here in Nebraska. Are things calm in your area, or are you experiencing the whole weather deal as well?
No, we're pretty calm here. Houston's like underwater. We have been, this will be my 25th year living down here in Dallas. And this is about as wet of a spring as I can ever recall. I live off of a lake, and it's been at 100% capacity since basically the end of February, into some floodplain stuff. Now, usually that's a lake that's, 10, 12, 18 feet down. I mean, usually it's down pretty severely. So going now into the summer, Mother Nature's going to turn this stuff off. And when we do, the earth's going to crack open. The caliche is going to start, just cracking wide open in all the heat. And the water will just kind of go away, and we won't see another drop of it until October. That's the way it usually rolls, but at least we'll be doing it at 100% capacity when we do it this year.
Hey, bottle it up, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah. You got to do something to kind of keep it around. I'm telling you right now, I mean, I just put down sod in my yard. We got rain over the weekend. We're supposed to get some rain tonight, rain Thursday. I'm waiting for literally, this is how crazy as it's been. I'm waiting for about a 5-day dry spell of over 80-degree temperature to put down some fertilizer. And I can't get that. I don't have it in my, I still don't have it in my forecast. So it's really been an awkward year for us.
That's bizarre. Like, how does that even happen? What's going on down there, Brian? What's up with that?
The El Nino, La Nina effects are hitting the Dallas Metroplex hard. I mean, I tell you what, though, we got a nice little storm a couple nights ago, and it was, it rocked the house. We had one happen the other day where literally just a crack of thunder knocked the picture off a wall, and I have never I just sat there and just hit the ground and rolled away. And I was like, wow, but. Nothing like what the folks of Waverly and Elkhorn and y'all up there have kind of faced it all. We've been fortunately dodging that stuff down here, but very, very wet spring season for us.
I always enjoy weekly science lessons with Brian Munson, but I think the people would want us to get onto some Husker football recruiting since it is your day job. So I suppose we should give the people what it is they truly want. And let's start with this, Brian. On 3, Husker Online, obviously the right for part of that. Steve Wiltfong logged a 60% confidence prediction for Nebraska with TJ Lateef, quarterback in the 2025 class. What are you hearing about TJ Lateef in Nebraska?
Well, I actually logged my pick right after Steve because I actually felt like after writing Tunnel Talk on Thursday night that I wanted to put one in, but I wanted another about 48 hours to see if something was going to come out over the weekend. So seeing Steve be confident about it kind of leads me to believe what I think is happening with Lateef. And that is he left Lincoln, and I know that he was impressed. I mean, I've talked to various people that hung out with him during that weekend. I know that he liked it. I know that he's really taken to the amount of interest that Nebraska has been showing to him. They've been very consistent with it. He's been trending basically for Nebraska since the middle of February. But this has seemed to me, and I tried to explain this, and it's kind of it's logic. It's not really as much like what I've been told. When guys typically kind of leave a place and they go quiet and you don't really hear too much from them, they're doing some things. They're thinking, they're calling coaches, they're waiting on edits. They're trying to have the right conversations with the right people to make sure that they're doing the right thing. So I think Lateef is honestly within that period of those types of processes to kind of wrap things up. And we all know the quarterback position is different, right? I mean, wide receiver, it's accelerating a little bit. The top offensive tackles are still kind of hanging out there or whatever. But quarterback, typically by now, schools have got their guy. And I know a lot of people are like going, why? Why is Nebraska taking a 2025 quarterback? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. And you've only still have 3 quarterbacks that are on scholarship in the room, number one. I know you took 2 last year, and one of them was a 5-star, and you've got a guy like Harburg that's coming back with some starting experience, but you need to keep basically a guy in the class, each year kind of moving forward. I'm telling you, 2026 is wild too, because you had Dayton Raiola that was there a week ago. You had Case Vandenbosch that was there a week ago. Nebraska just offered another 2026 quarterback the other day. You got Jet Tamala that's down there at Millard South. The 2026 quarterback situation is going to be very fun to watch, I think, over the next 9-12 months.
You threw out a couple of Husker names there in that conversation, Brian. A lot of questions on that quarterback stuff. We'll start with, do you think that what we see from Nebraska on the field this season will tell you about where they want to head with the room in that 26 class potentially?
I do. Obviously, you just put one of those guys on the field at one time, unless you've got some sort of a, jumbo athlete kind of role that you want to roll out there, like with Harburg. But I think that you're going to understand a lot about what, Nebraska thinks kind of moving forward, based on the announcement of the starter this fall, and based on maybe how, they kind of try to keep other guys engaged and maybe throw them some reps here and there. I think that, unfortunately, that's what you're going to kind of have to do in some instances, and you're going to have maybe some opportunities to do that at some points earlier on, not against Colorado, but some other games potentially. So I think people are going to know a lot about what Nebraska hopes to happen. And just theoretically, if it is Raiola out the gate, there is also the possibility that those reps are way too valuable to be spreading them around, because you've got to get through Colorado, and that's your really tough game of like the first couple of months, through the season. And after that, you've got some games where he can learn. He can grow as a quarterback. He can get ready for that tougher, more difficult, more challenging Big Ten play. And, then hopefully you're 6-1, maybe potentially 7-0 or 5-1 or whatever it is. And you're looking at, some more difficult games, but with some winnable ones still on the schedule. So there's some real interesting ways about how that could play out this fall.
You mentioned the conversation with Nebraska taking 2 quarterbacks last class and still going for one in TJ Lateef in the next class. Brian, I think every college football head coach, every quarterback coach would tell you they want a scholarship guy per year, but we're in the day and age of the transfer portal. Has recruiting quarterbacks at all changed for those coaches and how they do it? Is it still the goal and the objective to get 4, or are more and more college coaches saying, hey, we might not get a quarterback every class, we have to go all in on the guy we have now, or in on this particular class more so than others?
I think that obviously is kind of an ICB situation. I think that you potentially have those quarterbacks where you just know you have your guy for the next 2 or 3 years, unless something, crazy, like they jump into the portal or they go pro or they get injured or something like that. But you may have your guy that just kind of sits there, and bringing in other guys behind him, it gets a little bit difficult to do. You're not looking for a guy to jump over him. You're looking for some guys to get comfortable behind them, learning, and trying to find that role within the team, to kind of be ready in case they ever get called upon, or, heaven forbid something bad happens to the starting quarterback. But I think that's all kind of hit and miss, and the roster and the coaches have to manage the rosters and kind of be thinking about that long term. I think the goal is still 1 per year, but I think also, you get into those situations where if a guy transfers out, you maybe decide that that's not going to be the role that you want to do to kind of go back and backfill him, or maybe you grab 2 guys the next year and try to figure out like what's going to kind of happen between 2 guys and kind of getting a competition going. So I think there's a ton of different scenarios, but I still feel like 1 per year is still the move that everybody seems to be kind of still going with for the moment.
As the business of college athletics changes, Strick and I were talking about this for the last half an hour or so here on the show. Are we nearing the point in college football where we'll start to see college football's equivalent of a Chase Daniel, Blaine Gabbert, Matt Barkley, Matt Flynn type that just takes the best offer and goes around the country as an insurance option? Or do you think college guys may be don't have that business savvy and still want to compete and will go in search of the next starting opportunity?
I can certainly see that. I mean, I think that there's some truth happening to that already with some of these guys that are, packing up and leaving after a year and going someplace else and cashing in. Now, Strick would know, and I think that this would be one of the other. If you asked a couple other guys, my age or whatever, that they would tell you, if you really had NFL dreams, you really felt like, and you had been told like you've got that potential to kind of go on, you're playing checkers, right? Because the long-term view is the game of chess, and you want to get into playing the chess side on, getting that invite to the Senior Bowl, getting that invite to the NFL Combine, kind of putting together that body of work that's necessary to keep the scouts and the people that are at that level enthused about you and your pro potential. I don't know necessarily if you're doing yourself a lot of favors by jumping around number one. I don't think that the consistency is there. I think if you're doing it for business reasons, like I said, it seems to be short-term gains versus long-term. You need to go find the best place, I think, where you can still go get developed. And I think that still, in most cases, those are still going to be some of the top programs that can pay you top dollar for NIL. And then I think that there's some guys that they chase that. They go to places, they're buried on the depth chart. They didn't realize that they were making a bad decision, or they get hurt or something else happens, and they've got to bail because they do see they want to get into playing chess, but they're going to give back some of that NIL riches right now in the immediate future because they've got to get back on a track to get back into the possibility of going and playing the NFL game. So I think there are some guys that are playing a little bit too much checkers right now, and that's pretty scary. But I think for the most part, everybody still has their eyes on the prize, and they want to go ahead and try to make it to the league.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online here on our Allo VIP line. Brian, we know after the spring game, Matt Rule said Saturday was the game. Sunday, they're back on the road recruiting. Monday starts the team meetings. So it's been a couple weekends now since the spring game, or, was just 2 weekends ago now. Where are some of the places that Nebraska has been, some of the key areas of the country that Nebraska has targeted in the week and change since the spring game?
Well, let's see. They were kind of to the winds last week after, I think it was 6 staff members went down to Lincoln Southwest and checked out Jackson Carpenter. The new rule changes are obviously impacting all of this because you get 140 days, take 140 days around 10 assistant coaches. You get 2 weeks for each coach to kind of go out there and get on the road. But then, you only can go see a prospect one time. And if you go to like a track event, and I'm going to go watch you play track, or I'm going to go or run track and Strick's running track or whatever. And I have to then use basically my one day to scout everyone that's at the track meet that day. So there's some really, really weird rules right now around that. I don't think you're going to see Nebraska like going to state track or, doing any of that stuff. I think that's why you're seeing it to be more of an event. Like Jackson Carpenter's mom came out to the school and met with the coaches. Today, I think it was all 10 assistant coaches from Nebraska were at Millard South to go see Chase Lofton. And I'm pretty sure that was his mom with him in the picture when they all kind of posed for it earlier on. So it's really these visits that are happening right now will start to take the place of the in-home visits that would typically happen in the month of December. Why? Because you've moved signing day up 3 weeks. So there's really no kind of, way to do those in-home visits in December anymore. So now you're doing those in June. Now you're trying to keep your class together, is recruit those guys the whole entire time until you can get them signed now in the first part of December.
If you look at that Millard South team, Brian, we know Chase Lofton, you mentioned Jet Tamala, and then Amarian Jackson is an emerging name as well. Where do you think those guys fall in terms of priority on Nebraska's big board?
Amarian just picked up a couple big offers, dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, he just got Iowa State. He just got Iowa. I think that Nebraska really would have liked to have gotten him to camp without those two kind of offers, to fall. I'm sure that there was, hopes today of going to Millard South and catching a workout, just seeing, Thamala throw to Lofton and then having Jackson catching passes on the other side, eyeballing him, because it's a different situation because he's still an underclassman. So you can't really do the talk stuff like what you're doing, like with Chase Lofton right now. So yeah, I think that Amarian, he's a good sized kid. I've stood next to him. He's got that build. He had that production. He caught for over 1,000 yards last year. He's obviously in a great offense. It's gonna, showcase him. 3 Division I guys as pass catchers. You also got Isaac Jensen, who's the other kind of tight end opposite Chase Lofton. So if Lofton's kind of playing more of a X/Y hybrid and Jensen's more of a true tight end, and then you got Omarion playing as a Z and Thamala throwing him passes, like, look out. Like, they're going to put up some points. It's going to be like a pinball game some nights. It's going to be like Tecmo Bowl all over again.
Well, we've seen that the last few years here between Bellevue West having its run, Westside recently, and now Millard South. What does that say about the state of high school football in Nebraska? Is it becoming maybe less under the radar in terms of talent nationally, or does it still have some room to catch up?
Well, I think that you definitely have that going on. I mean, you think about the schools that have decided to start coming into the state and recruiting talent, basically since like 2020. I couldn't think of the last time, maybe Amon Green, that, like a Penn State or a Michigan showed up in the state and we're looking at guys, but Malachi Coleman was doing it. Ernest Hausman was getting that kind of interest, at Columbus, obviously he transferred it to Michigan himself. But I mean, I think the talent is, I think that it's better, like on a national level. I think that these schools are realizing that it's advanced. And I think, you got Dakota Nelson and the offers he got and what's going on now with Lofton and Jensen. And I think that there's a lot of people that are realizing that you have those types of athletes, and there may not be 12 of them, but there's going to be 5 or 6. And you're going to want to go back in there and you're going to want to make sure that you check out all of them to see if there's and how they kind of compare nationally, because the other 2 other ones that you want may be in Dallas or they may be in Texas, and it may just be too hard to get those guys away from SEC Big 12. But if you got a kid that's in Nebraska that's listening to other schools that maybe wants to think about taking some trips in Rocky Top or, Ohio State or whatever, all sounds good to take a visit to. I think that those are going to be, potentially some very approachable recruits, to kind of go ahead and take a look at if you're those programs.
Brian Munson of Husker Online, our guest here during our 3:30 segment on Mondays. Great look at Husker recruiting, as always, from Brian. Appreciate your time, Mr. Munson. We'll do it again next week.
Be good, guys. We'll see you soon.
Brian joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. 1 segment to go. You know what that means. Crossover time. We'll bring Jay Foreman in, wrap up on the block in just a minute.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service, we call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through May 7th is buy one, get one free on New York strips, limit 4 per visit. Also $1 off all brands of honey. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddles Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddles makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddles Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Coppell. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Old School with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are, be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One segment to go here. Jay Foreman still on his way in. I'm Austin Norman, Erick Strickland. To my left. Sorry, I got some check caught in my throat. Let's get into the NBA here for a little bit here, Strick. First of all, NBA handing out Rookie of the Year tonight. Tomorrow will be Defensive Player of the Year. And then on Wednesday, we will learn the NBA MVP. Is Wemby a unanimous Rookie of the Year? Or do you think Chet Holmgren steals any first place votes?
To be honest, I think Chet Holmgren should, because, I mean, in the matchups, he was okay. I think it was back and forth. You know, one would get one, the other. Then Wemby just really showed improved in the last meeting, which is a lasting impression. But what he did in his rookie campaign without the help. So just imagine Wembanyama on that OKC team. And then you can see the impact that he probably could have made. Like, Chet made a tremendous impact, but Wemby could have had that and more, especially with his defensive prowess and his block shots, just shattering the rookie record for block. It just, so that in itself, I know a lot of people want to throw out, Rudy Gobert, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the case for me. I actually think Wembanyama is probably an overwhelming victor.
No pun intended.
Right. I think that's the way it's going to come down to, man. I just don't see anything else.
Wemby's numbers, I mean, as a rookie, are insane.
Yeah.
It helps when you're 7'4" with the wingspan that he has. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if the voters for Rookie of the Year weight team success at all. The Spurs were better once Wemby moved to center full time. They stopped trying to play him at power forward with Zach Collins. But Chet Holmgren, Strick, to his credit, looks like the second banana in OKC, right? He looks like a legitimate dude in the middle of that team for years to come.
If I'm them, right, and you know you're in a shift, in a change, you may not want to do this, because a lot of times you don't like to do this, is to let Wembanyama win it and then also win Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
So you don't normally like to do that, but I would. Like, I would raise like the focal point of what's coming down the pipe of NBA basketball for years to come, and I would put him in that. And one, I think it would challenge him to continue to grow and be better, to want to basically tap into every one of those MVP, every one of those categories except six man. That's what I would go for.
Jay Foreman in the building. Jay, Victor Wembanyama, unanimous Rookie of the Year. Chet Holmgren stealing any first place votes?
Ooh, I think he steals some first place votes, but I think
you're just a Minnesota homer.
No, he's that dude. He's that dude. But I think he does. But I think for the betterment of the NBA, if David Stern was there, I don't think Adam Silver has the cojones to do it. I would make Wemby unanimous. Here's why I'd make him unanimous, because technically he is a rookie. I know Chet got hurt, but Chet you get that kind of redshirt year. But Wemby and Chet will be the face of the NBA. Now you could see the other side where you give, you want
that rivalry.
You took the words right out of my mouth. You could kind of make it, you're not unanimous because Chet got, just say, not just one or two votes, like 10, where it like inspires Wemby to get that much better, inspires Chet to get, to make up that ground.
Yeah.
You want that. I think the NBA is going to have to transition into pockets of rivalries, right? Wemby against Chet. The best player going in the NBA right now, Ant-Man against my son Jamal Murray. That type of stuff.
Jamal bowed up to your other boy, LeBron.
Boy.
Yeah.
Bang Boogie.
But that's in his bloodline.
Headbanger Boogie.
His new nickname is Jamal Bloodline Murray.
Ooh.
Bloodline.
Okay.
Named after his daddy.
Whoa.
Bombshell here.
Bombshell information on
it. But that lets you know how he bowed up on LeBron. I came down to Bellevue West, I would have piped out on y'all. 2 hands too. Then I would have went over there to where Big Badger at. Badger, where he go? Omaha South? Is that where he went? Or is he a Benson Bunny?
So
yeah. Well, rock the mic on
you. Andre Benson, right?
You might have wanted to go through there before you came to West.
Get a little
that way your confidence.
Hey, right. hey, you say go over Omaha South, get your weight up. Get your weight up. Get your weight up.
Oh no, man! Listen, Ant-Man, Himothy.
He ain't no joke. And here's the thing about him,
Anthony Himothy Edwards.
Here's
he
the
is
thing.
the him.
Here's the thing about him is that he ain't backing down
at all.
At anything.
No.
He the new Diddy. Take that.
Yeah, I don't think he would like that. If you know Ant-Man. And here's the thing about Anthony Edwards. He'll throw them hands too. He about that life.
Yeah.
I know people that are pretty close to the circle up there. A friend of mine details the cars for the Timberwolves and the Vikings. They say he's a great dude, but he's very focused on what he wants to do. He don't like it, but he like the little play stuff. What they doing? No, he ready to throw hands quick. And he got them long arms too. He just long arm of the lawyer too. And I think what he does better than some other guards, and I think he's like Spider Mitchell when he's on. And the Timberwolves play really well around him. If you can get Towns playing, I know
not fouling.
Yep, McDaniels didn't. He was over, but you know what he did? He got a couple assists and got on the boards. Defense good because he really took it to Jamal Murray in the first half. But what he does, kind of like Spider Mitchell when he was at Utah, and he obviously did it with Cleveland. He knows how to control the pace. And it's a weird thing that a lot of guards, and you can speak on this more. I only know it just because I coach, AAU club basketball, and I think that's the difference between actually being a good high school up and coming player, versus possibly going to college. Like the ability to control the pace, knowing when to shoot, what shots you need at the certain points of the game is like a unique skill that isn't being trained or taught, because everything, and you know this, Strick, and you've seen all these guys that call themselves trainers. Here's what they do: set up 50 cones, and they give you 85, fakes to give, and that's how they play. But what the funny thing is, they never say, "Hey, go and watch Anthony Edwards, go watch Spider Mitchell, go watch Jalen Brunson," because if you add what they do to your game, you will be you'll be a better player.
Facts.
And when you look at what Anthony Edwards was able to do, and especially on the road at a place like Denver where they hardly ever lose, the first game of the series, and people forget he was on that payback mission from last year.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like they should have beat him last year, but he don't come out and say it. But if you watch how dejected he was, he feels like he was the reason they didn't beat him last year.
Right.
If you don't think that you're seeing something here, and you're starting to see some, I like the pockets. That's what I call it. I call it pockets, where big against big, 2 against 2, point guard against point guard. What really would make this league really, really good if Trae Young was able to leave and he was able to find somebody. Because I think Trae Young, maybe, and Dame's a little bit,
he's
too long,
slope,
right?
Yeah. Waited a little too long.
And you can't do Giannis against KD because of the body types.
Any hope for LaMelo?
No, LaMelo doesn't have. He has the flair. He don't have the fundamentals.
Right.
Like, he played against Anthony Edwards. In a 7-game series, he'll get exposed. Who
Maxey?
Else? I was just about to say Maxey. I'm trying to see who could be.
What about like a Paulo Banchero, Joel Embiid?
I like that. They're not apples to apples, but I like their personalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else could? The Atlanta Hawks, it was Murray?
DeJounte
Murray.
Hey, Jalen Johnson coming, though.
Right. I would say DeJounte, especially if Trae Young leaves. Murray, maybe against Maxey, right? Where you get, like, say you can get into like a couple games during the regular season, say Atlanta goes up there and shocks them, right? And then say Philly comes back and gets a get back. Then just by chance they get into playoffs and have a good clash one-on-one. Look, man, it's the NBA is potentially in a good spot. I think they need some guys to get it together. This is a huge offseason for Ja Morant. It's a bigger offseason for Zion because I will say this. Ant-Man and then Joker and all those guys, those are knowns. Devin Booker and all those are knowns. Brunson's
I think they need to put him in the mix.
He's on the lower level. Say if you have 15, but listen, he's walking the dog.
Everybody down.
Listen, he is mowing guys down left and right. He must got a hit like a list of guys, like a hit list. Pew, got you. Like he is mowing them down. But here's the difference. Zion, and I know Strick is gonna say it ain't gonna happen, but I'm saying if he gets in shape and gets going, his star power is higher. Now they need to move him out of that market. Now that can be manipulated. It could be a reason why. Now,
no, you talking. Do you think talking about kind of language?
Now they will. Now here's the problem. You move him out of that market, you might get back to his last offseason because there's a lot more stuff to do.
Right.
The fact that when they asked him where do you like to go, and he said Dallas. I think the guy that was Vlad, the guy that interviewed.
TV.
He's like, yeah. I guess he has all the rookies. Once he said Dallas, they know what he was on, right? Now, granted,
I don't know that.
Same thing Stricky was on.
No, I don't know nothing about that.
No, he's not talking about you. Just talking about if you're a rookie that you go to Dallas, you just there's a lot of distractions.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't. That's
now
why.
Houston on the other hand.
The fact that you keep talking, I tried to leapfrog you, and then you just waved your hand and said, "Put me in there.
I'm here.
Sit over there and just let me just bypass you." Can you just take a TV timeout once?
I didn't have none like your boy, man.
Oh, Zion?
No, your boy down in the Lakers. I needed a timeout, Derek Darvin Ham. I needed a timeout, didn't have one.
You know what?
He didn't even pull the T-Way.
Hey, you want to know who's a sneaky good coach? He's on the Timberwolves Timberwolves staff. When we used to play the NCAA on the Sega and the PlayStation. I used to call him Corliss Borlis Williamson from Arkansas. He's on their staff. They say he does a really good job from the mental side and then training the guys and being the go-between from the head coach, the assistant coach, and him. They say he's done wonders for Anthony Edwards off the court and skill development wise, and getting him to understand that you need to be in the weight room and you need to do that all year long and all that stuff.
That sounds like things Nebraska might need.
Yes. I
mean, real talk.
Yeah, they do.
I've always said, just get a liaison. Someone that can have those real conversations with parents, kids.
And say, look, this is what it takes. And it doesn't have to. And the thing that's always weird to me is like the easy thing is, all right, let me go find the highest profile guy that just came through here. Well, here's the problem. And this is why I used to always talk about the NFLPA and when they'd go and have their
every
meeting.
year. Well, they go into your team and you'd have to.
Right. But then they go and they have a vacation in Hawaii. Right. Well, here's the problem. Like if the quarterbacks are going like Drew Brees and those guys, they have no idea what it's like to be number 10 on the roster to 53.
Right.
They have no
always
idea.
Been that guy.
And they never will.
Yeah.
Because they've never been at that pay grade. They always know when they go to training camp whether they're going to have a job. They got a job, right? You're not signing 10 quarterbacks. You'll bring in 10 linebackers. No, you're only going to keep 4, right?
You bring in 2 quarterbacks and maybe have
the practice. The guy that could just the arm, right? So the equivalent is when you're doing this, you need guys that have either like self-made, been through it, been cut, whatever you want to, whatever the things are. The guys that are going to be your nuts and bolts of your program. Local guys or guys that have done it, because they can decipher the coach speak and deliver a message straight to the player and the emotions out of it. And they're doing
so you're not looking at the coach.
And it's for the betterment of the team and the player. I've said this before, like if I was running a NIL company or whatever, I don't know, whatever they call it, collective. Like I'm big on like, try to do something. You're doing what everybody else is doing, but doing a little bit different, right? So I would have like in my case, like we play football, is like have a group of guys. I don't know what you call them, like consultants or whatever,
right?
To give the opinion to make sure when the offers are in the range, so you can get some return on your investment,
right?
And then also it will add some mentorship and all that stuff to it. Because I feel like if you're behind the 8 ball, say like in the basketball program's standpoint, and I don't know what they do over there. If you're if you're doing everything that say, I guess in Kentucky or Arkansas is doing, but you're already like kind of behind 8 ball, you're not going to make up any ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's only going to be the betterment for the program. You got, like Strick being able to help and represent the University of Nebraska and help them have an eye on a player and what they think and have that NBA knowledge, know what it's like, dude, to be going into camp knowing you got to make it. Know what it's like to show up at college, knowing like, look, if you might have averaged 20-some points at Bellevue or, my case, Eden Prairie or whatever, but listen, if you want to play now, you better defend full court.
Mm-hmm.
You better have your assist to turnover ratio sky high, right?
Yeah.
And you better be a problem, and you better hit, like you say, butt naked threes.
Yeah.
And
then to be able to convey that message.
Right. And take the coach speak out of it. This is where you're at, dog.
Yes.
This is exactly where you're at.
Yes.
Okay, here's where you're at, Eli Rice, when you were there.
Right.
Here's what you're at. Yeah, you got potential, but potential gets a lot of people fired and get your ass in the transfer portal.
That part.
Right?
Yeah.
And it'll keep you, but potentially, this is what people don't understand about potential. You're up here, and every place you go in the portal, it goes down.
Yeah.
Because time does not wait for no man.
Yeah.
Ever. It comes back to bite. It's undefeated.
Some nuggets. Some nuggets out there.
Some Denver Nuggets out there?
Yeah, but they taking his L right now. They
that Ant-Man coming.
Ant-Man real.
It's true. Just asking.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you a little secret, whatchamacallit. Jamal Murray gonna come back tonight. Or come back. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, he got something in his bloodline that says
We'll see if Jay's recovered by old school. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers.